In the beautiful village of Umoke, located in the eastern part of Nigeria, tradition was very important. The people of the village followed the ways of their ancestors, and everyone knew that the elders' words were law. But this is also a place where love, even though it was cherished, sometimes had to face the greatest challenges. This is the story of Adobe and Ikenna, two young people who fell in love, but their love was forbidden because of an old village tradition. It is the story of courage, love, and how they broke a curse that had kept their villages apart for many, many years. Adobe was a very kind and smart woman. She was admired by everyone in Umuoke because of how she helped people, especially the women in the village. She taught them new ways to farm so their crops would grow better. Her beauty was not just in how she looked, but also in her kind heart and her intelligence. One day, a young man named Ikenna came to Umoke from a neighboring village called Umudike. He came to help with a rural development program. Ikenna was tall and handsome, with a smile that could brighten anyone's day. He was also very smart and shared Adobe's dreams of helping the people in the village to live better lives. At first, Adobe and Ikenna met only because of work, talking about how their villages could improve. But soon, their feelings grew into affection. They began spending more and more time together, talking, chatting, and dreaming about a future where the villages were united. It wasn't long before they realized that they couldn't imagine life without each other. They had fallen helplessly in love. There was a problem. Ikenna's family belonged to the Nze title holders, a respected group of elders in Umudike. These elders followed very old traditions, and one of these traditions was that no one from Umudike could marry somebody from Umoke. This was because a very long time ago, these two villages fought a terrible war, and the elders believed that the ancestors had cursed anyone who tried to marry between the two villages. They believed that if anyone from Umudike and Umoike married, they would be cursed and their children will suffer. When Ikenna's parents found out that he wanted to marry Adobe, they were very upset. You cannot marry her, his father shouted. Our ancestors have forbidden this. Don't you remember the curse? But Papa, Ikenna said calmly, that was a long time ago. People don't believe in curses anymore. His mother shook her head. The ancestors' words must be respected, my son. You cannot marry somebody from Umoke. Adobe's parents reacted the same way. Her father was furious when she told him that she wanted to marry Ikenna. You are bringing shame to our family, he shouted. This marriage will never happen. The curse would follow you if you dare marry Ikenna. Adobe's mother, trying to stay calm, pleaded with her. Adamwam, she said, there are many good men in Umoike. Why Ikenna? Why must you choose somebody from there? But Adobe and Ikenna loved each other so deeply they couldn't imagine life apart. They decided that they would do whatever it took to be together. Desperate and not knowing what to do, both families took their case to the village elders. The elders were old, wise people who had lived through many changes, but they still held on to ancient traditions. The village priests were also called to speak, and they all said the same thing. The curse is real, and if Adobe and Ikenna gets married, they will face great misfortune. One of the priests, an old man with a deep, rough voice, spoke up. If these two marry, their children will surely be doomed. They will suffer, and they will never prosper. We cannot allow this to happen. But the world is different now, Henna argued. Why should we believe in curses when so much has changed? Adobe's voice, strong and clear, joined his. We don't want to disrespect the ancestors. We want to unite our villages and heal the wounds of the past. We believe that love is stronger than any curse. The elders sat in silence, unsure of what to do. Finally, one of the village priests spoke again. There is only one way to settle this. If you truly believe that your love is stronger than the curse, then you must face the trial of the spirits. The trial of the spirits was a very old ritual that hadn't been performed in so many years. It was a dangerous test that would prove whether the couple's love was strong enough to overcome the curse. For one night, Adobe and Ikenna would have to stay in the sacred forest, a mysterious place where the spirits of the ancestors were said to roam. If they survived the night and returned unharmed, then it will mean that the ancestors had accepted their love and the curse will be lifted. But if they failed, not only would it mean that their love was cursed forever, they will die. The night before the trial, Adobe's mother wept. Madam, my daughter, please, don't do this. What if something happens to you? I have to, Mama, Adobe said softly. We believe that the ancestors will understand. Ikenna's father, though he had always been strict, gave his son a nod. If this is what you want, then go. Careful, the forest is full of dangers. The day came, and the forest was dark and full of strange sounds. By day, it was a beautiful place with tall trees and clear river, but at night, it was different. The shadows seemed to move, and strange whispers filled the air. It was easy to see why people believed that the forest was full of spirits. As Adobe and Ikenna walked deeper into the forest, they felt nervous, but they held on to each other tightly. They found a small clearing where they would stay for the night and wait for whatever was going to happen. At first, everywhere was quiet, but then, as midnight approached, the wind began to blow harder. They heard strange voices all around them, and suddenly a tall, shadowy figure appeared before them. It was the spirit of an ancestor, and it did not look happy at all. Why do you come here? The spirit asked in a voice that sounded like the wind through dry leaves. Why do you defy the laws of your ancestors? Enna, although scared, stepped forward. We don't want to break the law, old wise one. We believe that our love can heal the past. We want to unite our people, not to divide them. The spirit stared hard at him for a long time before speaking again. What makes you think that you are worthy of such a task? Adobe, though her heart was pounding, stood firmly beside Ikenna. We believe in the power of love. Love can bring peace, even when there has been war. We believe the future will be better if we are united, Adobe said through shaky voice. The spirit looked at them both, its eyes glowing brighter, brightening as though it was about to strike. But then, slowly, gradually, it began to disappear into the mist, as if it changed its mind. The path you have chosen is not easy, it said softly, but it is yours to walk. Go now, and may the ancestors watch over you. When morning came, Adobe and Ikenna walked out of the forest, hand in hand. The people of Umoke and Umudike were waiting for them at the edge of the forest. They had all expected the worst. Nobody goes into this forest at night and makes it out alive. But when they saw Adobe and Ikenna walking out safely, unharmed, unscathed, arm in arm, they couldn't believe it. The trial was over. The ancestors had given their blessings. The elders, though surprised, realized that the curse had been lifted. The love of Adobe and Ikenna had healed the old wounds between the villages. A few weeks later, Adobe and Ikenna had a beautiful wedding. The entire village came to celebrate, and for the first time in many years, the people of Umoke and Umudike gathered together in peace. The lesson that they all learned was clear. Love is stronger than fear, stronger than curses, and even stronger than the traditions that sometimes keep people apart. When two people are brave enough to follow their hearts and do what is right, even the most impossible challenges can be overcome. And from that day on, the story of Adobe and Ikenna's love was told in both villages as a reminder that love, when it is true and pure, can conquer anything. Dear story lovers, tell us what you have learned from this story. Have you been in a situation like Ikenna and Adobe's? Have you ever fought for love against all odds? And did you win or did you lose? Share your experiences and the lessons drawn down below. If you're new here, you're hearing our stories for the first time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and stay glued because there is so much more interesting stories coming your way. It's African Folktale with Neze, and I will see you in our next video. Goodbye.